for some people, they have a really set idea of what they want to do, and they go for it. And I think that's great. I did not have that happen to me at all. I really didn't know what I wanted to study. I always knew that I wanted to go back to Bolivia and do some kind of meaningful work there, but I had no idea what. And for me, the flamingos really happened because I actually just took a trip to the southwest corner of Bolivia. It's becoming a kind of a big tourist destination for the more rugged backpacking ecotourist. I went on that trip. I had no idea that flamingos live down there in these saline lakes that are 5,000 meters above sea level. And that, I mean, I was really struck by it. I was really captivated by the system, by the landscape, and I mean the fact that these birds are there. And I asked myself then, like, geez, I wonder if anybody's studying these. And I came back to Cornell after that trip, and I started to dig around the internet and looked through some of the literature, and I realized, wow, there really are very few people that are studying them, and virtually nobody in Bolivia. So that was motivation enough. And then it was just a matter of coming up with some questions that I thought were interesting for me personally, and really going for it. That was it. It's really hard to capture how magnificent these birds are just by telling you, or by showing you a photo, or even by showing you a video of them. It's unbelievable when you go and you see these birds in these lakes, and you see what they have to endure, the temperature, the extreme temperature swings, the amount of wind that there is. We're in a high desert. I mean, it's just really, it's remarkable to see these guys, and just the thought of losing that for future generations is really devastating to me. So I want to do whatever I can to avoid that from happening. At least in the way that we're using technology, it's allowing us to gather a large amount of data, a large amount of information in a pretty short amount of time. And when you are faced with really pressing, really urgent conservation issues, some urgent threats, being able to gather that amount of data in that short of a time period is extremely advantageous. So, we can collect the data fast, we can analyze it fairly fast, and then we can turn around and say, here's what we need to get done, here are our recommendations about how to do it. And that's really important for us because the clock is ticking, I'm really passionate about applying what we know about the natural world to actually make a difference in the world, not just for these systems themselves, but for the people that live around them. I mean, there's always a human element to these things, and that's really where I want to put my efforts towards. So I guess my ideal position, for example, would be to manage a broad-scale conservation program that is very inclusive, that not just addresses the biology or the ecology of a place, but really brings in the human element. Start getting your feet wet. There's so many different directions that you can take in ecology and conservation. You can go. I would start to ask questions about what are the things that you like, and really start to follow that direction. Of course, if you decide that you want to go to college, there are a number of different routes you can take there. Most colleges offer at least a basic biology major, but a lot of them are offering more of an environmental slant on the biology major. And even if you decide not to go to college, there are a lot of opportunities. You can volunteer, you can get jobs working for local or more broad-scale non-governmental organizations that are doing conservation work. But I would say just follow your curiosity. Really give it a chance. Start asking questions. Get out there and see if this is something you want to do. And there's so many opportunities, and we really, the world needs people asking these questions and going after the answers. And yeah, so I would say just don't be afraid and just go for it.